Let's take a look at what Canada tariffs charge on the affect the U.S. Milk, 270%.
Okay, we can actually, we've got a clip on that one too.
Okay.
If you want to go to that. And you know what? I'm happy to address some of the like milk cartels arguments for this stuff because it's absolute baloney. I wish they would just be honest. I wish they would just say, like, look, we are inflating the market price and cheering for tariffs because it makes us richer. At least I would appreciate the honesty, but it's the unscientific nonsense that drives me crazy on this issue. Do we want to show the milk tariff from Trump? It's Juno News clip or ours too. Trump accusing Canada of unfair trade practices, claiming Canada imposes a 250% tariff on U.S. dairy products, makes it impossible to sell U.S. lumber. Okay, let's watch.
They have a tremendously high tariff. Give you the exact numbers in a little while coming out on lumber. So they sell us lumber. They have a tremendous tariff. They make it impossible for us to sell lumber or dairy products into Canada, but our numbers are a tiny fraction of that, almost non-existent. And what we're doing is freeing up our forests from the environmental nonsense that they put on them, where you can't cut down a tree. And we have to cut down trees in order to build the firewalls. And those trees are sold, but we're freeing it up on an emergency basis because Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products. 250%, nobody ever talks about that. 250% tariff, which is taking advantage of our farmers, so that's not gonna happen anymore. They'll be met with the exact same tariff unless they drop it. And that's what reciprocal means. And we may do it as early as today, or we'll wait till Monday or Tuesday. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to charge the same thing. It's not fair. Never has been fair. And they've treated our farmers badly. Look, our country's been ripped off by everybody, and that stops now.
And Sheila, as much as I'm a proud Canadian, and I know you are too, these are the harsh realities of tariffs with Canada and the U.S. Let me just read a few more. As I mentioned, milk, 270%, cheese, 245%, butter, 298%, chicken, 237%, sausages, for goodness sake, 69.8%, barley seed, 57.8%, and then it goes down into double-digit figures for HVAC, vacuums, cable boxes, aluminum, cars, just to name a few. So, what's good for the gander, right? So these are legitimate beefs. And, Sheila, when you speak about, can we have an honest discussion about supply management? Well, what's going to happen first, that or hell freezing over? Let's not forget, going back to 2017, 18, I think, the Conservative Party convention where Andrew Scheer on the 13th ballot with less than 1% of the votes beat out Maxime Bernier. And how did he do that? The last-minute push of Quebec dairy farmers. And you had Andrew Scheer doing a photo op where he's guzzling like a half liter of milk in celebration. That's not an honest discussion. That's giving us the middle finger that he's all in protecting this Soviet Union-style cartel of dairy, chicken, turkey, and eggs. It is a closed market, and Donald Trump is absolutely well within his rights to complain about it.
And, here's my problem with all of this is like I said, it's the dishonesty. If you were just honest, milk cartel, and say, like, look, the quota protects our bottom line, makes us wealthier. Sure, you extract that from the consumer, especially the poorest people who can least afford it, but at least let's be honest. But it's the unscientific health claims that you people are making that drive me up the wall. Yep. We don't want our market to be flooded with unsafe American dairy. Tell me, is there an outbreak of people getting sick from American dairy somewhere, anywhere? Please tell me. Their dairy is highly regulated too. Yeah. We don't want people getting sick from potentially contaminated dairy supply with hormones, and you'll never find a hormone in Canadian dairy. Okay, okay, people, why don't we just then have product of origin labeling on the milk that comes in and let the consumer decide if they want to be a milk patriot or if they want to buy the cheapest thing. Because right now, the cartel hurts the poorest amongst us. And I've got a real tough time listening to people prattle on about health this, health that, while not giving people the choice to consume raw milk if they so choose, and not complaining about seed oils in the food, or high fructose corn syrup, combined with dairy in the form of the shelf-stable chocolate milk that is peddled to young people. So I'd give people the choice. I'm somebody, as everybody I think is who is a regular viewer, and David, I care about what I eat and even when I eat it. Yeah. But that's my choice, not the government's choice. That's the part that I really hate. I hate the misinformation from the health industry. I hate the misinformation from the cartels, and I hate the lack of choice. That's Sheila, my problem.
If I may, and I think you already know this, but for those viewers that don't, back in 1993, I took 6-7 months out of my life to research supply management. This is before the internet, folks. So that meant I had to go down to the Toronto Central Reference Library and go through microfiche. Sheila, the kids today have no idea how good they have it.
Google.
Try researching.
Just Google.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No such thing. That's why it took so many months. And this cartel system goes back. The genesis is the late 60s, early 70s. Guess who was the prime minister at the time?
Exactly.
Yep, Blackface's father. And I can tell you, folks, in the initial phases of supply management, this has gotten better, thank goodness. But you actually had in the early 70s Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises closing early because they ran out of their chicken quota. And speaking of quota, who owns this quota, Sheila? You think it's just farmers? No, there's a lot of guys on Bay Street that own the quota. This is a scam. It is, like I said, it's plucked out of Soviet Union controlled market economic theory, and it was started by Blackface's papa, and it should be rescinded. And it's not about just opening up and being more fair to the American farmers and Donald Trump. It's about Canadians.
Small farmers can't get in on this. They can't.
Oh, yeah.
They can't. They're
Sheila, at the time, it didn't make the final cut. I came across a fellow, him and his wife. Their idea was, we are going to raise really high-end, free-range, completely 100% organic chickens. And every single ounce of that chicken meat is destined for export, typically the United States. So we need some chicken quota. What was the answer? No. Go pound sand. Even though it would not affect domestic supply at all. That is killing innovation. That is killing our GDP. And so when I see, a conservative would-be prime minister guzzling down milk, showing that he's all in on supply management. I know Andrew Scheer's gone on to do great things since he gave up on being leader. I'm sorry, I don't ever see this honest discussion with those, sacred cow, literally commodities being protected, Sheila.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I mean, just go look in the grocery store and you see like the boringness of the yogurt section. It's like 5 companies, that's it. Yep. It's all the same kind of yogurt, just in different packaging. That's just one thing. It's the cheese is the same thing. You could have really interesting boutique style cheeses, butters. We don't have that in Canada. If you travel in the rest of the world, you'll see like amazing things. You come to Canada and you're like, oh, okay, so just 5 companies run the place. Apparently, that's our food supply. And
Sheila,
it's not about protecting the food supply. It's about protecting everybody's bottom line.
100%. It's funny you mentioned cheese. The late, great Saturday Night Magazine, when it was owned by Conrad Black, they had a feature once, and this was absolutely fascinating. It was about, and the reporter spoke, it didn't name the farmers, of course, because that would be a death sentence to their livelihood. And it took place in the province of Quebec, where you go to a farm, and you want to buy cheese, and then what you do, you look around and you say to the farmer, "Psst, do you have any good stuff? The stuff under the counter?" And that supply exists, but it's hush-hush, secret transactions, cash only, as if it's prohibition and you're selling alcohol. And it's cheese. And this stifles innovation and it contributes to the blandness in that category in Canada, Sheila.
Yeah, what do they call us at the Costco in Bellingham, Washington? The Red Plague.
Yeah.
That's what they call us when we come down there to buy all the milk and the cheese, and then we go back because it's way cheaper there, just a couple of miles across the border.
And
anyway,
Sheila,
we should
just think of what you just said there. Way cheaper with the Canadian dollar discounted at 35%, and it's still way cheaper? What does that tell you about how we're getting ripped off here?
Yeah, exactly. So Trump's not wrong.
Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.